Hello, welcome to Writing Roundtable at the White Bear Center for the Arts. My name is MJ LaVigne, and I'm just so delighted to be back here in the Art Center, which is undergoing a wonderful transformation. They have not been sitting idle while we have been online, but it's really great to be back here in this physical space. And I'm very pleased to be able to share my Writing Roundtable class with all of the viewers at the White Bear Center for the Arts. I really want to encourage you to support the White Bear Center for the Arts and the Heart for Art, which is taking a different tact this year as well. White Bear Center for the Arts really enriches lives. One of the programs that I really want to highlight that the White Bear Center for the Arts has supported for many, many years is the Right Now Student Writing Contest. Art enriches your life, and I see this so profoundly each year when I have the privilege of judging the student writing. These young people bear themselves. They explore really troubling and deep and important aspects of their lives on the page. And through the Right Now Writing Contest, these students are recognized for their writing. They receive a cash award, which makes them a professional writer. And that's an indication of just the kind of access that the White Bear Center for the Arts has for people of all ages. One of the most effective, common ways of approaching writing is by journaling. And I keep a daily diary. I have a spot, there's a spot for each day, and it goes for 11 years. And I've been doing this for about 22 years. I love it because it helps me remember the specifics of a day. And sometimes just the smallest little detail can transport me. Of course, sometimes I don't remember a thing. But when I do, when those entries do transport me to another time and another place, it's because they had specific sensory details. And you can use that in your journal, and you can use it in your writing. So probably there's no better, clearer, easier writing advice than use sensory details in your writing. Sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. And of course, of those, sight is the easiest. We have lots of words to describe what we can see. Sounds are a little bit different. They have a they're a little bit. We have to tune in to hear a sound. Taste and touch and smell, those are all the senses that bring us the most, are the hardest to capture on paper, but the most telling. The smell of the gas fire here right now, the slightly sweaty feel that I have as I'm talking to you. This is all part of what our sensory memories are. And it's the specifics that let you really transport yourself into time. It's not always a big moment in time. Sometimes it's the smaller moments that are gotten across by the specifics. And I found a great poem in one of my favorite magazines, The Sun, which is a wonderful literary magazine, but very accessible, not too understandable. And this is a poem called Noses by Molly Bashaw. It was never in the news or on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram that on October 23rd, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. in Würzburg, Germany, Spießestraße 12, on the couch in our second floor apartment, while no one was watching or listening, under a blanket, the kitchen clock ticking all the while, the neighbors completely unaware, the whole world completely unaware, I warmed my husband's nose with my nose. I chose that because it's such a small moment, you know? something that was recorded. And I can just imagine her having written it down in her diary, and 2 years later coming across some little part of that, and how real and present it is now, not only for her, but for us as well. Now, here are some examples in this poem of just what I was talking about with sensory details and the specifics. Würzburg, Germany, is Spießerstraße 12, on the couch in our second floor apartment. We are brought into that place from Germany to the house, to the street, to the house, to the apartment, to the couch. So it has this motion of bringing us down into it. The ticking of the clock, the nose, the touch of the nose, the husband's nose, the neighbors completely unaware, and the sense of something very private and monumental happening without Twitter or Facebook. A really beautiful poem, and one that I can imagine having come out of a very small private moment that was first recorded in a journal. Now I'm going to share for you one of my favorite poems, and this poem is full of the specifics. This is full of touch and pathos and all of those sensory details that make writing so good. It's by a very well-known poet by the name of Donald Hall, who was born in 1928 in Connecticut and lived in his grandparents' home in New Hampshire for much of his life with his poet, his wife, also a poet. And this poem is called Name of Horses. All winter, your brute shoulders strained against collars, padding and steer hide over the ash ames, to haul sledges of cordwood for drying through spring and summer, for the Glenwood stove next winter, for the simmering range. In April, you pulled cartloads of manure to spread on the fields, dark manure of Holsteins and knobs of your own clustered with oats. All summer you mowed the grass in meadow and hayfield, the mowing machine clacketing beside you while the sun walked high in the morning. And afternoon's heat, you pulled a clawed rake through the same acres, gathering stacks, and dragged the wagon from stack to stack, and the built hay rack back, uphill to the chaffy barn, 3 loads of hay a day from standing grass in the morning. Sundays you trotted the 2 miles to church with a light load, a leather quarter-top buggy, and grazed in the sound of hymns. Generation on generation, your neck rubbed the window sill of the stall, smoothing the wood as sea smooths glass. When you were old and lame, when your shoulders bent, bending to graze, one October, the man who fed you and kept you and harnessed you every morning led you through corn stubble to sandy ground above Eagle Pond and dug a hole beside you where you stood shuddering in your skin, and lay the shotgun's muzzle in the boneless hollow behind your ear and fired the slug into your brain and felled you into your grave, shoveling sand to cover you, goldenrod upright above you, where by next summer a dent in the ground made your monument. For 150 years in the pasture of dead horses, roots of pine trees pushed through the pale curves of your ribs. Yellow blossoms flourished above you in autumn, and in winter, frost heaved your bones in the ground, old toilers, soil makers. Oh, Roger, Mackerel, Riley, Ned, Nellie, Chester, Lady Ghost. There's so much in this poem to love. There's so much touch, you know, the horse, the smoothing of the horse rubbing the smooth, the details, the aims, which are part of a harness. All these old words, all these archaic words, and then the detail at the end, the names of the horses. It's the specificity which really makes this beautiful, and then the unexpected nature of it. Whenever you combine something with love, with death, you have digging a grave and putting the horse down in such a tenderness and murder and killing. It creates a very powerful poem, and it's a beautiful one. I hoped you enjoyed it too, and I hope you take some time in the next 2 weeks as we move hopefully away from the pandemic, hopefully into spring, and take some time and write in your own journal. Is it a notebook? Is it a more formal journal? Is it even just notes on graph paper? Whatever it is, take the time to write down the specifics of your life. Take the time to write down those moments where your noses touch, where the beauty and the pain are entwined together. Give yourself that writing. Nobody else ever sees it. It'll still enrich your life. And be a supporter of the White Bear Center for the Arts, because they are such a supporter of so many of the artistic visions of us. And I hope you join us at Writing Roundtable the fourth Tuesday of the month, either online or here soon, we hope, at the White Bear Center for the Arts. Thank you.